What's up, guys? Today, I'm on my Alex Hormozy shit yet again, coming with that raw, real deal shit on how the facts about success is like when those most sincerest of pain periods start to set in on the journeys to success. It's really like you really have to have really good enough reasons. Is when you're broke, of course you'll do fucking anything to succeed. But when you're already successful and then the only thing left to do is like more money doesn't necessarily mean more money or a better life. You know, when you've achieved like the original goal of like just living an amazing life and being able to buy like your dream house, if your emotional demands demand that you live in a certain house or something like that, you know, and if like for me, I could already afford my dream house 40 times over. I could afford all the cars, all the experiences. I can afford to hire, pay the people. The people cost money. Women, they cost money. If you think, like an Instagram celebrity is going to hang out with you just because she likes you, she's going to be spending, even if she likes you more than anybody else in the fucking world, she's still going to be out there like to make money, like doing something with somebody else for like a percentage of the time. So when you can afford the life of your dreams and the only thing left to do is to go like one notch up, like for me, owning a $450 million company, there's not much more that more money can really do. I don't crave that kind of life. I really crave a life where I could pursue my other passions. And what is the point of making money but to be able to live your fucking life the way I like to play video games? By the way, people are typically fucking stupid. And they think most people who don't have a lot of money truly believe that if you could push a button, let me put it to you this way, that if you could push a button and every time you push the button, $1 million goes into your bank account, are you going to sit there and push the button all fucking day, every fucking day for the rest of your life? Or are you going to push the button like a few times a day and then conduct your life on your terms every single fucking day? What's the point of making the money if you don't one day retire? I retired at the age of 30, but I still work, and that's pretty commendable because I give back to the world that made me rich. And as a consequence of that, I get richer and move up in the increments of abundance. It goes up in like increments. One day I would like to, in private jets, right? Let's talk about the typical story that you're sold along is like having money means that it's champagne and private jets. Half these people that want champagne and private jets haven't put two and two together. You may have never had like a decent bottle of champagne in your life. Yeah, well, champagne is popular because it's the most taste-effective way to get shit-faced. And that's why it's so goddamn expensive, is because it's the best fucking alcohol. I have no patience or time for anyone's ignorance because I used to be in the same position where I think like listen, bro, I am a fucking billionaire. I understand money better than most people. If you leave a comment on this video saying that I'm somehow some kind of sucker because, well, for me personally, my time is worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars an hour. I'm not going to sit here and work for the rest of my life just for this purpose of stacking up money. That's not the point. The point is to make the money and retire and enjoy your life. But I'll never retire because I'm the guy that's going to sit here and keep pushing the button for at least a few hours a day, which is something that most people could not say about themselves. So who's the real fucking loser? Or I'm the real fucking champion. There's a lot of people out there that judge me and the fact that I don't work 16, 17, 20 hours a day, that if they were in my position, they would be sitting on a beach drinking margaritas and shit. But I fucking grind. I don't want to hear shit from any fucking losers about how somehow I'm like a quitter because I started working like sparsely. You know, I won already. So I might be a little bit of a lazy entrepreneur, but I'm not like a fucking loser. You know, entrepreneurship is a pride sport for me. Entrepreneurship is a pride sport for me. You know, and a lot of people who don't have a lot of money have a hell of a lot of opinions about what they would do if they could make as much money as they want. Of course, you know. A lot of people have a lot of opinions of what they would do if they could make money like me. Like, they would just sit here and work all day, every fucking day. Because that's what you think, like, when you don't have a lot of money, you think that you would do that more money is always better, and that's not really true. You reach a point in having money where more money won't really do much for your life. And, yeah, I mean, by all means, I say, like, leave your ignorance to the side and listen to me, because I'm the one that fucking went out and did it. I made the money, and I thought that more money was always better. In fact, I have everything I ever wanted, but still I grind. Most people are not fucking man enough to play in the arena that I play in entrepreneurship. And it's because business equals balls. Business equals weight. Business equals heart. You put your heart into this shit and you find out who's the fucking better man in business. You find out even that who has more, maybe not who's the better man, but I don't know. You find out who's has more heart, you know, more like who's more man than the next motherfucker. And more money doesn't always equal more man. I think I'm a very, you know, in the middle kind of guy, except I take my craft very serious, and I have a good heart. You know, I have a lot of heart in this sport to say, like, you know, I work on behalf of the people that wish that they were me. I work on behalf of the people that wish that they were me, that didn't have the same opportunities and the same inspirations and the same, you know, even like tribulations in their life, that they can attribute their pain in their life to be like as successful as I am. If it wasn't for a couple of shitty ass relationships, I probably never would have started out in the gym, and I probably never would have started my first personal training business. That's really what got me started in business, was probably like, at first I went to the gym, and then I think one day I was in the gym and I thought, like, oh, well, what if I start my own business? I was in my first semester in college, going into my second semester in college, when I thought, like, oh, like, well, what fuck this college shit. I've always wanted to own my own business. I started my first business when I was 3 years old. Is like, to be known is to be like a fucking savage and to be better than everybody. That's what the fuck I want. And in my version of being the best means that I have a healthy balance outside of my career. You know, you can, in fact, fixate yourself in such a way where you don't have to, you can get where less is more. And that's the point of what I'm dealing with right now, is less is more. You know, why would I work more to increase my outputs by like 5 or 10% to work like double or triple the time? I optimize my position in my company so that I can put in as little as possible and get out as much as possible. And that's what makes me great, is the balance aspect of it. Yes, your first 10 to 25 years in business, there shouldn't really be very much balance because you're still making it. Now that I've made it, I deploy balance and I do other things that I like to do in my life. I like to work out sometimes for like 12 hours a day. Probably like once a week I work out for like 12 hours, like all day long. And then pretty much like take like maybe one day off. Take like, you know, I have like an on season and an off season in the gym. So usually I work out like 4 or 5 hours a day. You know, I'm back in the gym this year after 8 years off. I don't want to hear shit from beginner entrepreneurs that think money's the fucking answer for fucking everything either, because it's not. And that's something that most of these people will never probably understand. Because you're going to be on this hamster wheel for the rest of your life thinking that more is always more. You hopefully will reach a point where you can take the foot off the pedal a little bit, because your job as an entrepreneur is to design your role in your company so that you can enjoy other aspects of your life. And that's going to take for me, took about 10 years. Right now, if you have time constraints, will take you about probably like 15 to 20 years. So that you can put in less work and achieve more and be able to do other things in your life. Just like how 10, 15 years ago, the narrative was, oh, if you want to be successful in your business, you have to basically leave everyone in your life in the dust. Drop out of college. Say fuck it to everything except for business. That's what I did. And now I only have like 3 or 4 people left that stuck with me along the way. And it was all my fault. Because I put money above my fucking people. And you realize that your people are more important than money. People are more important than money, bro. That's what I don't like about beginner entrepreneurs, is that you will do anything to succeed, right? I'm already successful, so I don't have to do anything to succeed. Leave your nasty, dirty little comments on my video about how, you're giving up the chance to be the greatest entrepreneur of all time. There's a couple ways to be the greatest entrepreneur of all time. You know, I would like to see some people just work for their entire life. Most entrepreneurs, you know, is like, you have to imagine that, you know, I'm just one of the lucky ones where I found abundance in my life so that now I could do the other things in my life that are important to me. I've handled the money part of my life. That's the whole thing, is when you're a young beginner entrepreneur, you're probably a dumbass that thinks that you're probably a dumbass that thinks that, oh, if you had the chance, if you had a button that you could put $1 million in your bank account every time you push the button, you're just going to sit there and push the button all day, every day, because more money is always better. Is like, well, you know, that's not, you know, is you do reach a point, or I did reach a point where I could do whatever the fuck I want in my life and not feel guilty about it. So, yeah, $450 million is not some kind of chump change amount of fucking money, by the way. So I don't want to hear anything from anybody about how I'm like a quitter. You know, like a quitter, right? I am self-proclaimed, yes, maybe a little bit lazy, but still I grind, put in like 4 to 6 hours a day to live a better life than these cowardly entrepreneurs that would never, that, for an example, you know, will never be like me. That they will never be like me. The people that call me like a quitter or something, they will unfortunately never be like me. And the fucked up thing is you know, the fucked up thing is you know, I was there once where I thought like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. It never occurred to me that you almost expect to have a day where you can just sit back and relax. But then when that day comes, you know, like, well, I am an outlier in business, okay? I'm like a $450 million entrepreneur. My business is worth, you know, if you count futures, like you could call me like a multi-billionaire. You could call me like a multi-billionaire. I don't need for money. I have everything a man could want. You know, only thing that you need in life is like some good like pre-workout so that you can conduct long and effective workouts. Some like protein powder, some good food, and like to be able to afford an ecosystem that a good woman wants to be a part of. You know, some good clean food like doctors, to be able to afford doctors, you know, a laptop, you know, to always be up to date with the latest technology, to have a good phone to record. I like to make videos, you know, to have like a good phone to record videos on. Like an iPhone has like some of the best camera. It's just beginner entrepreneurs frustrate the fucking shit out of me. It's so frustrating because, listen, I don't see myself as being like this fucking enigma. Some people see like Alex Hormozy, for example, as being like a fucking enigma, and yet I have more money than Alex Hormozy because I fail to realize that I'm an enigma, you know. But I'm not an enigma. I'm just a fucking reasonable, logical human being. That it was not hard for me to make the right choice to succeed in the financial arena. So do not comment on my fucking videos about how do not comment on my fucking videos about how, you know, I don't work enough, or like I'm a lazy entrepreneur, or how I'm somehow like a quitter because I retired at the age of 30 with a $7 billion portfolio, and like people, they just get the wrong idea because I don't have the fucking energy to care. And that's the truth. And I hope that everyone gets there someday. When you're just starting out, of course you'll do fucking anything to succeed. Of course you'll do fucking anything to succeed. You know, it's just like the situation that I'm in right now is like, you know, it's a little bit weird. Even though I'm a billionaire, I've got sort of like that funny money, you know, where I get a disability check, but I'm a billionaire also on the side. And, you know, it's like, people will say like, oh, he's not man enough, or he's like cowardly, or he's like not savage, and he doesn't like blah, 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 whatever the fuck people might say. I truly found out firsthand that money isn't everything. And it's true what they say. As long as you have freedom, yeah, well, if you have to, well, if you got to work a job, you better work on your business and invest your money very aggressively back and put, you know, like 60%, 50% back into your business after you pay your bills and for your food and stuff. Is if you haven't yet dwarfed the price of regular living expenses, put 50% into your business and into business ventures and kind of like gambling kind of money, like to gamble on your business and on marketing and stuff and on employees and stuff, and put 50% straight into investments. That's like the protocol. There's no better protocol than that. And it doesn't matter what your investment is, as long as what you want from investing, which is a different story for a different video, but I'll also tell you about my thing in this video, is trickle back money, trickle back investing. So if you make like 4 to 5% per year, is once you put money into something, just consider that money gone. That money's just gone. It's almost like it never existed. And now what you have is a system, a vehicle, a asset, like kind of like a thing that just gives you money. You know, just pretend like that money never even existed. Let's say you buy like an apartment complex. Now you have like, you know, $100K coming in every month. That pretend like the $10 million that you spent on the apartment complex, pretend that money never even existed, because you'll never sell it, right? And that's like, I think the best winning strategy to investing is, and then one thing I do, a great way to invest. Let me tell you something. Amazon store, eBay store, e-commerce. You know, it's not always, doesn't have to be a scheme to make fast money. You could put your money into products in your Amazon store that pays you like, you know, 2 or 3% per year. You know, because it's pretty cheap to get into. Put like $10,000 into like, you know, 1,000 products that pay you like anywhere from like 3 to 5% per year, and you're in the fucking money. And if you think about it, Amazon store has some of the best fucking returns on investing. It's a great way to invest. It's not just a way to make a career out of an Amazon store, but it's like an investment in itself. That's what I am trying to get into like right now. So some people are fucking ignorant. They think that money is the answer to everything if you don't have it. But once you have it, it's not that big of a deal. That's the truth. And I have no time, energy, or pity or sympathy for ignorance anymore. I don't want to hear your side of the story because I've lived it already. That money is fucking everything. It is if you don't have it, but then once you have it, you get to do whatever the fuck you want. And I'll be a trillionaire. I'll be a trillionaire in like tomorrow's money, which at the time will probably be like, still like significant, like $100 or a few $100 billion today. So that's my goal, is to build one of the next $1 trillion companies. And optimize your role in your business as per to put in as little as possible and to get as much as possible. And entrepreneurship for me has become like a giant job. It's like a job for me now. As I have the money, but I have to, my good senses, my conscience tells me that I have to keep putting in work to pay back society for making me rich. Because I'm not special and different from everybody else. Like God's elect only be rotten son that I can take and take and take and not give anything back. That I've developed this expertise and that I have a heart to serve people and care about and care for people. That so yeah, that was kind of like when I was fucking 19, 20 years old. I thought that I had all the answers, and now I'm 30. You don't truly have the answers until you go out and figure it out firsthand. I was literally so stupid that I thought that I was going to work from sunup to sundown all hours of the day for the rest of my life because I was in love with the idea of money. I could not foresee a day when I could just chill for like a few hours a day in my life like I do right now. You guys see I'm playing video games right now. This is my passion in life, is this game called RuneScape. That's what my passion in life is. That's just the way I was born. I enjoy bodybuilding. I enjoy raising my family. More than anything, I am infatuated with the idea that when I die, I will have descendants as numerous as the stars that will handle my business operations for generations after I ascend into the afterlife. That I will be running my business. I will be managing my company from the stars after I die. And that's a dream that I want to sell you guys today. If that's something that you're into, if you're a business person, let's do it together. And let's be friends in this business shit. Because one thing that is not ever good for anybody is enemies. Baby, please, I'm good on that. But don't double cross me either, because I'll feed you to the sharks. I love you guys. And God bless you guys. And praise be to God for giving me the inspiration and the insight to be able to bring you guys this video. To make this video. Alright. Bye-bye.